Well, let's get to the Nightmare Night Society, or otherwise known as Home by the Sea. And here we go. Loading. And okay. So we're waking up from somewhere. Are we washed up by the beach? Apparently are. At night. Well, at least we know this is another point of view thing. Nice moon. Very clear. It's actually a very nice effect. The stars are rather lovely. And there's a house. What the? Wasn't that moon blank before? Of course the door is locked! Well, that's one way of getting in. Like a thief.
Welcome.
What?
I hope I haven't frightened you, my friend. You seem a bit lost.
You think?
Please feel free to sit down. But I can tell that you didn't come here for our sake.
Duh.
You are confused and just want to return home. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Tell you what. See these doors? Behind them, you'll find 6 rooms. And in each, you'll hear a story. Listen to them, and we will help you get home. Good luck and enjoy. Submitted for the approval of the Night Society.
Well, at least it's confirmed that it is a different point of view person in this one. Although, there has to be a catch. Considering what happened in the last one. Night Society. Home by the Sea. See what I mean? Okay. Story number 1. Lightning.
We had just moved into a little house by the shore. Storybook site. The next morning I found her awake in bed and smiling.
That's cute.
I watched the lightning at my window.
She would tell me how she watched lightning outside her window at least twice a week, despite there being no storms. Reoccurring dreams of that first memorable thunderstorm, I figured. Or maybe a reflection in the water. In retrospect, it is the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Are you not getting the feeling
My
something's
daughter
about to
came up
happen?
to me in the morning.
Guess what?
She asked. What?
No more lightning at my window.
Oh, that's nice. It finally died down, huh?
No, now it's in my closet.
The heck? Story number 2. Bunk bed. Okay.
No one will come for you. That's what he said every night. As I lay entombed in the fields I had long ago resigned myself to my brother's love to torment me. He always has. He's always taken great pleasure in my fear and misery. His idea of fun. When I was 3 years old, I vividly remember every night. At around 9 o'clock, my mother would tell me that it was time for bed. She would tuck me into the bottom bunk of an old steel, self-assembled bunk bed. She would kiss my forehead before saying goodnight, turning the light off and leaving the room, closing the door tight. As I lay staring at the dim light of the room, taking in the various silhouettes of the furniture, I would hear the springs of the top bunk creak and give. I would close my eyes and silently cry, knowing my brother's cruel game was about to begin. Every night was the same. My brother would growl at me in his malevolent croak, all about the pain and misery awaiting me. This was my childhood up until I turned 7. My father decided that it was time to get rid of the bunk beds. He had bought them when my mother was pregnant. We lived in an old freestanding house. When my mother told my father Sadly, I was told my brother died whilst my mother was giving birth. So, I should say before I was born. I don't know much about what happened exactly. I'm very hesitant to ask. I can't believe how well I still remember those days. I'm 27 now. I live by my own in our family home. I have an okay job and a beautiful collection of sleeping pills. I'm taking a whole bottle tonight. I'm going to finally sleep tonight. He's not going to keep me awake tonight. I miss that bunk bed. At least, when he had the top bunk, I couldn't see him. My brother loves to torment me.
And there's a shadow! Okay, that element was both creepy and sad towards the end. Story number 3. One night.
If you look carefully, you might notice that I'm adopted, but it never mattered to me. I love my family. I love my dad, my mom, my brothers. The creature just pushed me away with a crooked grin and closed the door. I started scratching at the door, screaming, yelling for my parents, for anyone, whimpering, crying. Now I'm sitting here, helpless, looking at my 2 small paws.
Okay. That one was more sad than scary, but I think I can understand the fear in that one. Well, story number 4. That means 3 more to go. The stairs. Granny Smith?
In a secluded area, there lived an old, widowed mare. She lived by herself in a big, old house, bounded to her wheelchair. She was an earth pony, and for a while now, she required the aid of a Pegasus carer who would visit her daily to help her with everyday tasks. What made it even more difficult was the fact that the 2 floors of the house were only connected by an old staircase inside. When the old mare needed to move between the 2, the carer would have to carry her frail body like an infant up and down the stairs. One day,
That must be
the
terrible
police
for the
received
old
a
mare.
call from the widow pony. There had been an incident. One detective managed to arrive early at the scene. Awaiting his backup, he decided to look over the crime scene. The ground floor was in total shambles. The detective couldn't tell if anything was missing or if it even was a break-in, at least at this point. The thing known for certain is that there was a savage fight, far beyond what any pony could do. The carer was nowhere to be found, except for a few scattered yellow feathers. On the first level of the house, there was the old mare atop the staircase, in her wheelchair, watching him, still and silently, seemingly in shock. Due to her inability to move up and down the stairs, he could immediately rule her out as a suspect, because she was trapped up there at the time the incident took place. Not to mention, there was no possibility she could be involved in whatever rampage happened downstairs. All she told the detective was that she was sleeping when she suddenly heard a soul-rendering shriek coming from downstairs, among other noises.
Wait,
and
then
that's
how
when
did she get to her
called the police.
wheelchair?
The detective took photos, swabbed for evidence, and recorded as much evidence as possible for now.
I mean, this is
All
more of
routine
my love
procedure.
of mystery coming
He
out now,
explored the house
but
downstairs for any clues.
she says she's
Then
asleep,
asked
but
the old mare if he could look upstairs.
how would she have been
insisted
able
that
to
she was
move
upstairs the whole time, and no
from her
one
bed to the
apart from her
wheelchair to
had
see
been
what
up
was
there
going
that
on?
day. But regardless of this, the detective ascended the staircase, to which she hesitantly moved aside. Beyond the staircase, there was this narrow corridor with 3 closed doors along it. He checked behind each of the doors. The empty bedroom? Nothing. The bathroom? Nothing. He became anxious as he slowly made his way to the final bedroom where the old mare slept. He opened it and everything looked normal. A bed, a wardrobe, and the bedside table with a lamp.
Wait.
He checked every wall of the room in horror, as it was not what he discovered, but it was what he didn't discover that made him stop dead in his tracks. It was a detail so minor that he almost completely missed it. There was no phone upstairs. He suddenly heard a noise and rushed out of the room, only to find an empty wheelchair atop the stairs.
Well, that leaves open to a lot of possibilities. Especially on the possibility that might have been the assistant dressing up as the old mayor after she murdered her. Masterpiece. Oh boy.
I've been lying down for hours now. It's 5 a.m. and there's still not much I can do. You know what the worst part about my situation is? I'm not alone in this room.
What?
There's a strong sensation of dread and I feel paralyzed with fear. The second I make any hint that I'm not asleep anymore, I'm done for. I'm done for and there's nobody around to save me. I've been trying to think of a way out, but the only idea I have is to rush for the front door and scream for help. You're probably wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
I do tend to get ahead of myself sometimes.
Oy.
About 3 hours ago, I heard a noise from the other side of the house. I got up and went to check on the noise. Now I realize it was exactly what it wanted me to do. I got very uneasy and ran back to my room, hiding under the sheets like a filly. It was much smarter than any animal. It was aware of what it was doing. It stood in the room with me, no more than 2 feet from my bed. With all my will, I tried not to look or give any signs of being awake. This thing had made what it probably called a masterpiece. To finish it off, it scribbled a message into the wall that I could not read in this darkness. It
Neither
then
can I.
positioned itself under my bed waiting to strike. The scariest thing now is my eyes have adjusted to the darkness since then, and I can read the message on the wall.
What?
I didn't want to look at it, because it's terrifying to think about it, but I feel I need to see before it gets me. I peek at the creature's masterpiece.
Okay, that is really spooky. Definitely a step up from the mystery and the sad stories. Story number 6. Last one. Key 98 is typing.
You asleep?
Story between Keyframe and Golden Fox.
I guess you're not either.
Can't. It's the wind. Sounds like cats fighting. What's your excuse?
Studying.
WTF, the wind is so loud. That doesn't seem normal, lol.
No wind over here. Just rain.
Lucky you. I need my beauty sleep.
I'll say this much so far.
Damn right you
It's
do.
different from the other stories so far.
What? You mean I look... Shit. I think I heard footsteps on the gravel outside.
Get your dad to check it out.
I'm home alone. The fam is on holiday, remember? I told you this.
Really?
Oh boy.
They really sound like footsteps, but there's something odd about them. I should look out the window, but my bed is so warm.
You sure you want to look out the window when you're not alone? What if there really is some pony there in your garden looking at you?
You jerk.
Not funny, Goldie.
Wow, chill. I'm sure it's nothing.
Gonna check. BRB.
If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call?
Oi.
There's some pony in the garden.
Oh boy.
What? Really?
Yes! I can see some pony's back.
What's he doing?
He's looking for something. In the bushes. What should I do?
Nothing? He'll probably go away by himself.
OMG, now he's digging with his bare hooves. He's ruining the garden.
What does he look like?
Goldie, WTF, this isn't funny.
The heck?
What?
How are you doing that?
Doing what?
What are you talking about?
I can see you in my garden. How are you writing here without touching your phone? Look up! I'm by the window. Can't you hear me banging on it?
Key?
Key, now you're scaring me too. I am definitely not in your garden. That's not me.
Stop playing around. I can see your cutie mark.
What?
It must have been someone who looks like me. Honestly, Key, I'm at home.
that or a
I wouldn't play
changeling.
around like that.
They can change their appearance at will.
He has to be a friend of yours, Goldie. Playing a sick prank. How could he have your cutie mark?
Are you sure it was mine? Maybe it just looked similar from the distance. Is he even a Pegasus?
Well, there is that too.
He's digging again. For Celestia's sake, leave already! What the hell is this, Golden?
Something's definitely up.
I swear it's not me. Maybe it's a changeling or some kind of illusion spell.
Fuck! He's seen me!
Uh-oh.
Why is he smiling like that?
Call the police!
Call the cops.
Thank you!
Key? Key, pick up. I've called the cops. I told them there's a break-in attempt at your place. They said they're on their way, but it'll take about half an hour.
That's too long!
Key, are you
You
there?
probably should have called the cops earlier then.
It stopped. I can't hear anything.
What?
Really? Don't go out yet. Stay put until the police get
There
here.
was no mention of noise.
What should I tell them if he's gone?
Oh good lord, even the tone of
Everything,
voice
Key.
seems so wrong.
Everything you told me. I'm so glad it stopped.
Something is not right here.
Can you come over in the morning, Goldie? I really need to see you.
See? See?
Of course,
Something's
Key.
up!
I'll be there.
Great. Can't wait.
For God's sake, she's not even panicking anymore! She should still
Key?
be in the case of panicking!
Key, how do I know this is you?
Thank you!
Key? Key? Key?
Oh, the implications! The implications! What? Number 7? But didn't he say there were only 6 stories? Oh boy. We're
A
outside.
man once spoke about shadows on the wall.
What?
How some may perceive moving shadows as real creatures that can move, breathe, and have their own will. But let us stop for a second and ask for ourselves, what if it's true that these amorphous patches of darkened space on the wall possess life? Would that life be of their own, or merely a reflection of whatever casts it? Would they be simply retaining lives of others in hopes of gaining their own individuality, trying to make up their own lives? Or would it be something different entirely? Then again, what if the opposite is true? The shadows are merely shapes on the wall. What if it's the wall that craves for a life?
Why did I just get cold chills from that one? I'll admit, I did not expect a 7th story. As shorter and unusual as that was.
Welcome back, my friend. I see you made it.
The heck was the 7th story about?
But what's this? You seem surprised. Was it the last door?
Yes!
Well, I just believe that you could use one more story. After all, this is what we all came here for. Listen to the stories of past lives. Also, I was asked to welcome you in the home by the sea.
Run! Well, do we get out or not? What the? Okay. That was creepy yet confusing. I mean, the way the shadows appeared like that? Ugh. Ugh. That was... Oof. I'll admit, this sequel to the first Nightmare Night Society, not only longer, but a bit better, too. I mean, the animation seemed to have gotten slightly better compared to the last one. Slightly. I mean, still great, but this one seemed to have a bit more of a touch to it. Just can't say what. But anyway, yeah, don't get me wrong, all the stories were scary and they're alright. There's just some of them that were more sad than scary. Like with Dr. Wolf's story, the one about the dog and his family. That really does seem more sad than scary. But it does also lead to the imagination of what the creature might have been, what he interpreted as a creature. Like, was it an actual stray animal that attacked the family? Or was it possibly a spirit attacking them and seeing that he didn't want the dog of the family? Although the one that really impressed me... Nah, I shouldn't be saying that just yet. The problem is, there's so much to talk about with this one. I mean, the kid with the lightning, that in itself leads to an imagination of what the heck that lightning really was. Kichi's story, where the monster carved into the wall and then hid under the bed, that was scary to the end. The dead twin, that was both scary and very depressing how it ends. Especially if, for all we know, that was his overactive imagination. Man, there's just so... Wait. Stay tuned for more? What do they mean by that? We're just looking at the house and it fades. Please tell me this is another jump scare. Please tell me this is not another jump scare. Oh, thank goodness. It's not another jump scare. But, yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Let's see. Dr. Wolf's story, Kichi's story, the story of the lightning, the dead twin, oh yeah, the detective story. I'll admit I'm a sucker for mystery stories most of the time. So I do apologize for talking more over that one, but literally, the moment he said that the old lady mentioned that she was asleep before hearing some sounds, that would imply that she was in bed, but then how the heck would she have gotten into her wheelchair? I mean, maybe she might have been able to crawl, but at the state of panic she would have had to have been in, she probably would have forgotten it and then toppled over. Not only that, but the perpetrator should have walked up to the stairs and then attacked her next. That in itself should have left alarm bells. And then towards the end, that in itself have maybe 2 or 3 things that would explain what happened at the end. 1, the old lady isn't as weak as she is, and she killed the assistant. 2, it was the assistant the detective met with, disguised as the old lady, and the old lady is dead. 3, it was some sort of monster that killed them both. Either way, that in itself has so much to imagine. And the last one, I'll admit, I am very impressed with how they portrayed that story. Using, instead of just a voiceover, you're actually hearing as well as reading the text discussion. Possibly their last, if what happened at the end is anything to go by. Especially now that I think about it, for all we know, that the pony digging in the garden was digging Keyframe's grave. Which means that Keyframe could already be dead in the story, not in real life. But at least we got confirmation that supposedly there's gonna be more of these things. Possibly. That's a heck of a way to get into the Halloween spirits. Anyway. Obviously, these 2 specials were very good. So I suggest you guys take a look at them yourself if you want to see them without my commentary. And, obviously leave a comment and in the description, or in the video below, or the side, whichever you're looking at this thing by. Rate it, subscribe, blah blah blah. I'm sure you guys are all tired of hearing that from all the other YouTubers. But anyway, hopefully I'll get another reaction done. This time, Who Killed Markiplier, if I remember correctly. And either before or after, I'm gonna be making an update video along with the request, which technically should have been done the moment I got permission from this guy well, you'll find out when I get the thing up. Anyway, with that being said, until the next reaction, this is Wingsong, or Ashley Wingsong, well, old habit, sorry. Anyway, this is Ashley Wingsong, signing off.